All right, Andrew, thank you. It is time to take a look at your money here on Good Morning Quad Cities. On Tuesday, the Department of Labor released the latest inflation report for the month of October. The Consumer Price Index showed that last month, the national rate of inflation fell from 3.7% to 3.2%. The better than expected report on inflation comes as Americans gear up for the all-important retail holiday shopping season. And joining us is our financial expert, Mark Gravicheski from the Quad Cities Investment Group. Good morning, Mark.
Morning to you, David. Good to see you again. Happy Monday.
Yes, happy Monday. So I'm interested to know what caused this sudden drop in inflation last month?
The main catalyst, David, was a decline in energy prices last month, which is nice to see this holiday season. But the challenge is that energy prices, are historically quite volatile. If you remember, from June to September, inflation jumped from 3 to 3.7%, primarily because of rising energy prices. And if energy prices start to rise again, it could once again create some upward pressure on inflation. But the report in October also showed that kind of outside the realm of these now lower energy prices, unfortunately, inflation is still quite widespread throughout the rest of the economy, especially in some of those basic necessities like food and shelter. Now, the ultimate goal is to return to a target rate of inflation of just about 2%. But because inflation has kind of become a little bit more embedded within the economy, it was, just fairly recently, the Federal Reserve said it expects inflation to, remain above that 2% target rate for a few more years, unfortunately.
All right, thank you, Mark. Well, let's move on to some lighter things. Thanksgiving is a week away, or it's this week, that is, and that means that it's time for our yearly annual Thanksgiving segment. So talk about that.
Oh, yeah. First off, I want to say, happy Thanksgiving to you, Andrew, everyone in the control booth, behind the scenes, and certainly all of our viewers. Now, as is the tradition here, David, we need to give a shout out to the news beacon of the Ohio Valley, WKRP's very own Lester Nessman. Now, WKRP in Cincinnati, a TV series that ran, late 70s, early 80s. And David, it was 45 years ago this Thanksgiving. It kind of ages us a little bit, that the now famous Turkeys Away episode first aired. In my opinion, the single greatest TV episode in the history of television. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But if you have, it almost becomes a part of the Thanksgiving tradition to watch it again.
All right. Well, what are some of the other trends that we should be expecting this Thanksgiving?
Well, overall, David, the biggest trends we've been seeing this year, holiday related, is kind of a return to normalcy from the pandemic. In 2020, 2021, all of the major holidays obviously were significantly disrupted by the pandemic. Last year in 2022, can be defined as more of a transition year for many Americans. But this year, spending habits, travel habits, and kind of how we celebrate our holidays has really approached that pre-pandemic mentality. But we do have a graph that kind of shows some of the numbers and insight behind this upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. On average, wow, Americans are expected to consume a whopping 3,100 to 4,500 calories on Thanksgiving Day, well above the national average daily recommendation of just 2,000 calories. You may blow through 2,000 calories by breakfast on that day. This year, 93% of Americans will eat turkey on Thanksgiving. The average cost to host a Thanksgiving, which includes food, drinks, decorations, $396 this year, up from last year. This year, though, only 13% of Americans will either go to a restaurant or order takeout for their Thanksgiving dinner. So a lot of people spending it with friends and family at home. An estimated 117 million Americans are expected to travel this Thanksgiving week. up from the 115 million reported last year. And finally, David, in a nationwide survey, there's a three-way tie for the most disliked Thanksgiving dinner side dish. Three-way tie between candied yams, green bean casserole, and cranberry sauce. Now, I agree with candied yams and green bean casserole, but how could you not like cranberry sauce?
And for me, how can you not like green bean casserole? I love that. Oh my gosh.
That
Well, I'm
needs to
glad to
be
see
banned from Thanksgiving. No green bean casserole and the candied yams.
All right. We'll keep it that way. Thank you, Mark, so much for joining us. You have a happy Thanksgiving.
You as well, David. Take care.
Thank you.